Friends, Romans and Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats because it's time for the Gay Frog Chat. The Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go into different detailed subjects, such as this week, where we'll be talking about the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk assassination trial that's going on right now and the fucking retardation that's going on the internet as a result. Sorry for the lateness, everybody. I've been busy today. I've been working on my bike all fucking day long. I just got done a little bit ago, and I took a shower, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's Tuesday. So here we are. Yay. So, yeah, I made some coffee, and I'm waking up, and I'm doing my thing, and I hope you guys are having a good night. And how's it going, Mr. Ohio Patriot?
So. I've had some good days, and I've had some bad days this past week. Mostly health-related stuff, but yeah, Saturday night was fun. I got to hang out with some of the neighbors when we were watching fireworks outside. So
nice. Yeah, I have officially been not smoking weed for 10 days now. 10
good
days
for you.
That's 10% of my record, my recent record. Although I got to say this time around. Okay, so like last time, I guess. Let me back up. I was, let's say, thinking about my ex a lot for some reason. And so like when you quit smoking weed, you have like fucking crazy dreams, dude. You just have like the craziest of dreams. And I think it's a dopamine thing because marijuana releases dopamine. And when you stop smoking marijuana, you have a buildup of dopamine, which is released when you dream. So your dreams become super intense and super crazy because your body's just used to like creating as much dopamine as possible. And so when you go to sleep, you get like a dopamine dump. And back then, last time, because of what was on my mind, every time I would go to sleep, I would be in like some existential crisis about her or some fucking crazy shit going on, and I would wake up in like a pool of sweat, like fucking angry and upset, and like I'd have to like take like an hour to like think about things and watch a movie and then try to go back to sleep, and then I'd be right back in the fucking same dream again, dealing with the same exact shit. And I was like, okay, it'll get better. It never got better. I quit for 100 fucking days, and like 100 days of just like fucking nightmares, bro. So that was terrible. And that was a good portion of the reason why I quitting last time was because of just these fucking terrible nightmare terror dreams that I was having on a constant basis. However, now, fuck that bitch, first of all. Second of all, yeah, dude, I've been, instead of having crazy, terrible dreams, I've been having like crazy, awesome dreams where I'm like flying around and I'm doing wheelies on a bike and I'm like talking to fucking animals and, like every dream is coming true. It's fucking awesome. I love going to sleep now and I sleep through the night. It's freaking great. I love it. So I don't know, man. Maybe it'll stick this time. Maybe things will be better. And by the way, I'm quitting so that I can quit my job because my job is fucking terrible and I hate it with all my guts. And I may have made a mistake the other day. So I got my son a job there, right? And shit has been pretty terrible at work to the point where he quit. He quit the job the other day. And I was already like looking for a new job, like thinking about quitting. And then he quit and a bunch of other shit happened. And I wrote a letter to our regional manager. I wrote a letter to my old general manager, who's a regional manager in a different area. I wrote a letter to corporate, and I wrote a letter to what do you call it when you complain on things that works? Can't remember the word right now. HR. That's what it was. I wrote a letter to HR too. So I wrote like 4 different letters to all these higher up people about how shitty my fucking job is and how shit the fucking new management is and how things are going terrible and how everyone's quitting. And fucking told them basically like, hey, I don't want you to do anything for me because I have already made my decision. I am going to quit this job as soon as I find something that's comparable that's going to work for me to pay my bills. But I don't have that yet. I'm working on it. I've got a prospect or two that's pretty good, but it's nothing like it's in the bag, nothing like I actually have the job. and I wrote this letter to like all of my bosses telling them that I'm going to quit. It might not have been the smartest thing to do, but they didn't fire me. And I suppose, really honestly, if they did fire me, they'd better have a fucking good reason, because it would be like retaliation for what I did. You know what I mean? Because then I could sue the fuck out of them. And that would, I don't know, maybe it was a good idea. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's what I've been dealing with lately. And I hope you guys are, doing a little bit better than me, because my shit kind of sucks right now. But anyway, what's up, Mr. Sopapia?
Just heart things going on. Other than that, things are fine. Work is stupid as usual.
When you go to like state fairs and there's like the Native Americans and they have Indian bread. You know what Indian bread is?
Is it Indian bread from India or Indian bread from America?
Feather, not dot.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you've never had it. Okay, what Indian bread is deep fried dough. They make dough out of flour and water and maybe baking soda. I don't know what else they put in it. And then they fry it in lard, and then they coat it with sugar. It's basically donuts, right? Just like fucking donuts. But why is that Indian bread? Oh, it's because back in the day when Indians were living on reservations, they would be shipped provisions. And some of the main provisions that they would be shipped would be flour and lard. So what do you do with flour and lard? Well, you make dough and you fucking fry it. So it wasn't like they were eating Indian bread before Americans or before us, the white man, how did a bunch of shit and fucking put them on reservations and then shipped them fucking, instead of eating buffalo and like wild fruit and stuff. Because really that's what Indians ate, was like beef jerky that they would, it wasn't even beef jerky, like, you know what I mean? Like dried meats and crazy stuff. Anyway.
Dehydrated things.
I don't know why that fucking popped in my head. Anyway, how's it going, Mr. Sopapia? Everything good with you?
So heart things going on, like heart problems going on. I actually got into a feelings match with my boss about native stuff. That was interesting, but things are cool other than my heart fluctuating all the time, and then people being disrespectful at work about other countries and other natives and other things. Like, yeah, things are okay. Like, I'm good.
People are being disrespectful to you at work? That's no good.
Well, yeah, essentially, I was told that what I think is dumb. I was just talking about like the sun dance and the warrior dance for the natives, the native people that were here before colonization. And so, they have these dances where one of them is where you pierce your chest and then you rip yourself from a tree. And that's the sun dance. You're setting yourself free. And then the other one is called the warrior dance. And that's where you pierce your back and you pull a buffalo skull until it rips out of your back. And that's it's a warrior dance. And so those are sacred things. And like, I'm not man enough to do those things, but I do know people who are, and I respect that culture very deeply. So especially being that a lot of Peruvian in me and whatnot. But he basically said that was dumb, and he proceeds to pray in the lobby of my job for people and like act like he's some sort of savior. And it's just so shallow to be disrespected like that. And then I just don't think people are sensitive enough to understand that there are cultures here that also have rights to have that culture, so yeah, between that and then my heart problems, everything is fine.
Well, sorry about your heart problems, man. That shit sucks. You gonna be okay? Or are they putting you on medications or something?
Oh, I'm on meds. I just have to take more.
Or are you on statins or something? Like blood pressure reducers?
Yeah, I just can't take them at night anymore. I have to take them during the day because my blood pressure gets so high that I start sweating and I'm almost passing out. So I got to take my blood pressure in the daytime. And then the only problem with that is just it makes you pee a lot. You have to, take a piss like every 10 minutes after you take it.
Jesus.
For about an hour. And so it's really hard to be the front end guy and be registering while holding this giant vial of urine that came from squeezing your body dry. And then, unless you keep hydrated all day, and keep enough electrolytes, then because you're peeing so much, you get cramps. So yeah, it's kind of crappy, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to, I'll conquer it. I just won't take my pills at night. I'll take them during the day. But
I mean,
yeah.
When I think about it, it wasn't statins aren't for blood pressure; they're for cholesterol. So that's a little bit different. And
Yeah,
I didn't have blood pressure problems when I went to the doctor. I had cholesterol issues. Like my good cholesterol was where it was supposed to be, but my bad cholesterol was too high. And they wanted to put me on statins, which is a drug that reduces the cholesterol in your bloodstream effectively, right? And just something in me was like, dude, don't take these, figure something else out. And so I asked the doctor, like, what else can I do besides get medication? And he was like, well, you can take cod liver oil and krill oil and red yeast rice flour and fucking some other shit, some supplements basically. Right. And like maybe switch to a salad instead of a steak every now and again, And I was thinking about it, like the day before I went and took my blood test, I worked all fucking day that day, and I got off of work like right before the grocery stores closed, and I was starving. So I just picked up like a big ass steak and I fried it up in butter and ate a big ass steak and then went to sleep and woke up and went to the fucking doctor and had a blood test. And they were like, oh, your cholesterol is really high. And I was like, I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that I ate a giant butter fried steak the night before, fell asleep, and then woke up and went and took a fucking test. I bet that had something to do with it. So I took the red yeast, rice flour, the krill oil, all the things. And instead of a steak before the next time I had a blood test, I made sure to eat nice and healthy, vegetables and stuff. And everything was fine. So they were going to put me on statins for basically having a bad meal before I had a blood test. And I was looking into it. So like a lot of these fucking medications that they put you on, maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, but there's always negative side effects, right? There's always things that are like unintentional secondary caused fucking things that happen when you take a prescription. And the statins, what they do is they strip cholesterol out of your body and you basically like pee it out, right? You fucking just get rid of all of the fucking, well, do you know what your neurons are made out of? Like the brain cells and nervous system is made of cholesterol. Not completely, but every single cell, every single neuron in your body is coated with a layer of myelin, which is a form of cholesterol. And when you take statins, they strip the myelin from your cells, right? And if you do it for long enough, you end up with neurological problems such as Alzheimer's and like all kinds of fucking cognitive decline and shit. And I'm like, bro, I would rather die of a fucking heart attack than have a fucking, like, have my brain not work. You know what I mean? I want my brain to work all the way to the end. And if my brain doesn't work, like, good, like, kill me, dude. Like, I don't want to be here if my brain's not working. You know what I mean? So fuck that shit. Do what you can. Do what you can with exercise. Do what you can with diet. Do what you can with lifestyle changes, getting enough sleep, that kind of thing. Because those things can actually purely improve your health versus taking, and I'm not saying you shouldn't take medications if they're prescribed to you, but just know that when they prescribe you medications, there's always, always, always secondary, unintended, negative consequences.
For sure. I actually had a marijuana-related question for you, Honda. Have you ever had, like, weird, like, hangovers after you've consumed, like, a day or two after?
No.
Okay. It might just be the Delta 9 I'm taking then, because I noticed the other day when I took one of those, like, it was like a day or two after that, I felt like I was still kind of almost hungover. When
I stopped smoking, I got migraines for like 3 days. Like 3 days, my brain was just like, oh. I think it was just like calling for some weed or something. And it, yeah, see, DRZ Whisperer gets it type 3 diabetes. That's what, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think the marijuana thing is, it starts off as something that's beneficial, right? Because like, let's say you're dealing with stress or with like trauma or grief or something terrible. You know, it's not just like, la la la, I want to get high. It's like, holy fuck, if I don't do something, I'm going to kill myself, right? So at a point, it's like way better to smoke weed than to like not, because you're going to fucking like be able to get through things that you wouldn't have been able to get through otherwise. But at a point, it becomes a crutch that you've been relying on for too long. And for me, that's certainly true, because I have smoked weed for years and years and years and years, and I've never really stopped. I've tried, but I've never really stopped. And there was like that one instance, and I had such bad fucking, and it wasn't even because of specifically the weed, although it was partially, but it was also because of like mental things that I was dealing with at the time that like exacerbated by the weed not being there anymore. So maybe that wasn't the best timing for trying to quit, but at the same time, man, like, I don't know. I feel like my brain is working a lot faster right now than it did before. Just like I'm firing on more cylinders, or like the carburetor got clean. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Like,
maybe you're finally getting selenium back in your system too.
Well, I'm sleeping at night too. Like that was the thing last time. Like I would go to sleep. I'd sleep for 2 hours. I'd wake up for an hour. I'd sleep for 2 hours. I'd wake up for an hour. I'd sleep for like an hour, and my alarm would go off. You know, so I get like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. And like one night, that's fine. 2 nights, you're tired. 3 nights, it's like bad. After a week, you're just a zombie. Like it's like all of those brain gains that you get from not smoking any weed out the window, because you're not sleeping. You're not getting enough REM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So therefore, it kind of made it so that any benefits that I had, or not any, but some of the benefits that I should have had, weren't there. Versus this time, it's like, man, I'm going to Narnia every night. I'm like talking to the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking awesome. I love going to sleep.
So what are you taking to do that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I am not drinking. I am not smoking. I am not doing any drugs at all of any kind. No prescriptions, no over the counter, no illegal, nothing. And it's everything I thought it could be. I think some people's brains work too fast, and they self-medicate with Mary Jane to allow things down,
Slow down,
end up showing. Yeah, bro. I had a friend in high school who, I guess when we were in grade school, we were in the same grade. By the time we were in junior high, he was a grade ahead of me. By the time we were in high school, he was 2 grades ahead of me. By the time I graduated, he was done with college. Right? He was just fucking smart. And he would get blackout drunk when he hung out with us, because if he wasn't blackout drunk, then he was bored with the conversations, because he was already on to the next thing, and he was like annoyed that people weren't. You know what I mean? But if he was like drunk, if he was like super drunk, he's about on the level with everybody else, and he could have a good time. So he just spent his whole fucking life, and I don't know where he's at now. I hope he's doing okay, but man, like that's not a good coping mechanism either. Like maybe you should have found some friends who were smarter. No offense to me and my friends, but man, he was on a different level. You know what I mean?
He's one of those guys that need a fidget spinner.
So if you guys don't know, the trial for the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the Tyler Robinson trial, started today. Well, the pre-trial did. They were doing pre-trial motions, and some evidence was submitted for approval for being able to be shown to the jury, right? And some was denied, some was approved. That's how that works. It's a pre-trial meeting where they talk about like, okay, here's the rules, here's, you know, they set some things up, and objections are heard and that kind of thing. And there was some evidence that came out that has now been made public, because this is an open public trial, as it should be, as all trials should be, in my opinion. And side note, it's funny that there are, in 2026, judges and courtrooms that do not allow cameras, that do not allow broadcasts of what happens in their courtroom. I think that is atrocious. I think that is unconstitutional, because these are supposed to be open to the public. And back then, you know, when those laws were written, it was like open to the public. Yeah, if you're in the area, you can come see the trial. Great. Well, now we have the internet. Now we have fucking cameras and microphones and all kinds of technology that they didn't even dream of back then. And for there not to be cameras and microphones covering every single court case and every single trial that isn't, I mean, there would be some instances, I suppose, where you wouldn't want the trial to be public for one reason or another. There are, I could imagine having instances where that's true, with like child rape or something like that, where you're like really you're some sensitive shit that you're trying to fucking share. You know, you don't want the public to see that. But at the same time, man, like we really need to have like maximum accountability, maximum visibility for these court systems and for these judges, because it seems to me that there's a fucking lot of bullshit going on. You know, I mean, anyway. So yeah, this trial's going on, and the Candace Owenses of the world have muddied the waters of the internet as to who thinks what happened and why. And man, there's a lot of fucking retards on the internet right now who are like saying stupid ass shit that they don't have any evidence for, because it gets clicks, because people fucking click on it and then they make money. And that's all it is. That's all it is. But there's dumb people out there who don't know that that's what it is, and think that what these people are sharing is truth, when it's just fucking inflammatory lies. And you know, they're twisting the truth in ways that make things, I don't know. You'll see. Anyway, so we're going to be going into that a little bit here. Also, I've been working on my bike all fucking day. My new DRZ that I bought, DRZ 400, it's got some issues. The suspension on it needed some work. I got a free spring.
How much did you buy it for? I don't remember.
Effectively $100.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
Well, it was actually $2,700, but
yeah.
But it was only $100 out of my pocket, because I sold a bike. I sold a bike that I got for free, because I sold a bike that I bought for $1,000 and made a bunch of money on. And then, yeah, I mean, if you go back like 3 or 4 years, I spent $1,000 on a motorcycle, right? I sold it for $2,000. I bought 2 motorcycles for $1,600. I sold one of them for $2,700, just like not too long ago, and I still have the other one. So now I have 2 bikes that I basically paid nothing for, which is pretty badass. Anyway, I got a free fucking spring from somebody to put into the rear shock on the bike, and some people were like, yeah, it's not that bad, it's, you know, like, shouldn't take that long. So I started doing laundry this morning. I'm like, I should have this done by the time the laundry's done. That did not happen. I needed to go to Harbor Freight 2 different times to pick up tools that I didn't have to, you know, reach bolts and do things. And by the time I was done, it was about 8:00. But I'm done now, and it's good. And like, I took it for a test drive, and man, it's way fucking better. So pretty happy about that. But still need some more work. There's a couple other things, and of course, when I was putting it back together, I couldn't quite get one of the bolts to line up, so I just gave up, and I'll do it later. So it's not even quite fucking done, even though it's done, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good enough for now. Good enough for jazz. So yeah, let's look into these stories that I have curated for you guys. So, first of all, 23-second clip. Here is a video of the judge in the case watching the video of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And you can see his reaction of the graphic footage that he's watching. See that? And I think everybody saw this video, of course, when Charlie Kirk got shot. It was all over the internet. If you were fucking not living under a rock, you saw it. And it was pretty shocking. It was pretty brutal. It was pretty terrible. It was pretty gory. And then moreover, it was pretty infuriating and disgusting to see how many people celebrated that. How many people were dancing in the streets and fucking mocking people and showing up to vigils and, you know, making posts and making bobbleheads and like all of the things that people did. Like, you guys know, you guys were there. You saw, you saw what these demons fucking did after they shot him. And I say they because they celebrated. I say they because a bunch of people jumped on that bandwagon. And some of them got fired. Some of them got in trouble, which is, I think, fucking poetic justice for these people on the left who've used the bludgeoned of censorship, I guess would be the word, to go after political enemies for speech that they didn't like, for, you know, anti-trans or whatever things that people have said in the past. And there's a million examples of people who've been canceled or kicked off the internet, or even talking about COVID-19 during the pandemic and stuff like that. There were mechanisms in place for these social media companies to go after people and ruin your fucking career, right? If you're like making YouTube videos like me, you get shadow banned like me. Suddenly it's hard to make money like me. Like, I was supposed to make money and then I talked about too much shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to undo that. And I think that honestly, some point in the future, there's going to be class action lawsuits about all of this shit that's happened as a result, where we're supposed to have free speech on these platforms and we don't. And it's continuing today because there's countries like the UK who are going after people's free speech because, again, there's truths that they don't want heard. There's things happening that they would like not talked about because it looks bad on them, because it puts egg on their face and they don't like it. And so their reaction isn't to like fix their behavior. Their reaction isn't to like change the trajectory. Their reaction is to shut people up, to silence them, because it's the talking about the thing that's the problem, right? Not the thing. It's not like the rape of 250,000 girls in England is a problem, right? It's just you guys talking about it is the problem. So we got to go after YouTube, and we got to go after Facebook, and we got to go after Twitter and all of these different platforms to shut people up, because they're saying things that we don't, they might even be true. In fact, they are true most of the time, but they don't want us talking about it. They don't want people hearing it. And man, I think there should be some lawsuits over this. Anyway.
Do you want them to not talk about it anymore, or do you want them to be punished for the fact that they did it?
I want them to be punished for censoring people. I want the people who were censored to be able to sue the people who censored.
You want the censorship to be punished, not the crime that was happening.
Well, also,
I'm
if people committed a crime, then yeah, they should be punished, which is not happening in a lot of cases too.
Right.
Which is part of the reason why people are talking about it, is like, hey, why are these people getting arrested 20 times and then stabbing someone in the street and getting arrested the 21st time, and they can't stand trial because they're fucking not fit? That doesn't make any fucking sense. They were fit the last 19 times they got arrested, and you let them go, and now they did like a super serious crime. You're like, oh, well, you know, he can't stand trial. He doesn't know what he did.
They could have been going through the trauma because they were transitioning. So we don't really know, you know. So if that's the case,
well, you can also
shouldn't they have some sort of special privilege because they're trans? They're turning into something else. I mean, that's a big thing, like cocooning into a whole different, you know.
You can cocoon all you want, dude. If you hurt someone else, though, in the process, if you're violently unaware of your effect on other people, there's no excuse for that. I don't care if you didn't know. I don't care if you know, like there's some mental issue going on and you didn't know that stabbing a white girl in the chest on the bus was insane. I got that white bitch, like that guy. I forget his name. He got let off, and they were like, well, he's not fit to stand trial because, you know, obviously it's like, dude, you committed fucking murder. I don't care what your reason is. I don't care what excuse you have as to what you know, like, oh, you didn't try to run away because you didn't know he did anything wrong. Too bad, man. I mean, I guess we can put you in the gas chamber quicker that way, in my opinion.
The problem with the Arenas of RuneScape murder in general is that it was 100% racially targeted, and that guy should have been facing not just murder charges, he should have been facing racial hate crime charges too, for that matter.
Well, there's a lot of that going on these days too, isn't there? It's crazy.
Yes.
Anyway. So here we have Eric Doherty talking about Charlie Kirk's assassin Tyler Robinson was spotted laughing mere feet from Erica Kirk today. This comes after he showed no remorse in previous court appearances.
Being delivered to this courthouse. Some of the doors are zip tied.
So there's people who have read his lips. There's a forensic lip reader, and I don't know if I trust what they said. But he's talking to his lawyer, and they said that he's like, oh, I think about it every day. Blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, again, I don't care what your reason is. You murdered someone in cold blood. Now it's time to hold you to account. If you were mentally unstable, if you had some kind of like mental breakdown and you killed someone, I don't think that should be an excuse. Everyone who killed someone is fucking mentally fucking unstable. Everybody who's murdered someone has like lost control and didn't know what they were doing for a second. You know what I mean? Like, that is not an excuse. That doesn't count in my book. And you shouldn't be allowed off for those kinds of reasons. In fact, I can't think of a reason why anyone should be let off for murder. Period. Like, if you like have the mental capacity of a fucking child and you murder someone, well, I guess we're fucking putting a child on death row, effectively. I don't care, dude. You murdered someone. I mean, I guess the only exception to that would be like if a child did something and they didn't understand it because they weren't old enough yet. But even then, it's like, dude, lots of kids never murdered anybody. That's not normal. That's not a normal thing for people to do. And maybe we shouldn't kill those people, but we should definitely lock them up for a really, 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 really long time.
My understanding is they also gave the furry boyfriend a plea deal to testify against Robinson.
I wonder how many other people were involved with this, because there were
there's a ton.
People who were on social media predicting the death of Charlie Kirk, like at that campus on that day, like in the days leading up to the assassination. I don't know who had inside knowledge and who didn't, but if you have knowledge of a impending crime like that, isn't there some kind of punishment for that? Like if you don't come forward and try to stop it? I don't know. I'm not sure.
How do they prove that?
Emails, text messages, Discord messages, phone calls that have been recorded, and whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not saying that if there's no evidence you should convict those people, but if there's evidence and there's a law, and I don't know what the law is, but
there's a couple different felonies that could probably get them on, like accessory before the fact, and then like other stuff like that, basically.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Or
I'm
like
pretty upset
endangerment or something.
I'm pretty upset at a bunch of people who laughed at this. I'm pretty upset at a bunch of people who were happy about this. I'm pretty upset that they, for instance, went to my work that day and were laughing about it when I showed up to work after I just watched this guy get assassinated in front of his fucking children. And I'm traumatized from watching it. And I'm like, shit, I got to go to work now. It's 4:00. And I go there and there's people at my work being like, it made me want to fucking Charlie Kirk them, bro. Honestly, like I didn't, because I'm not that kind of person, but that's fucked up. Like, for instance, I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right? However, if Kamala Harris were to, for instance, end up exactly the same as Charlie Kirk did on live TV in front of everybody, I would not have celebrated it. I would have not thought it was funny. I wouldn't have made memes about it. I wouldn't have joked about it. I certainly wouldn't have showed up to work and laughed in people's faces about it. And I don't know why that's acceptable on any side. And yet it is. And that's the society that we live in today, where it seems like a good portion of that society would be okay if I got shot in the neck. If they knew my political leanings and then I got shot in the neck, they'd be making memes, they'd be making jokes, they'd be showing up to work and laughing. Like, am I wrong?
No, it's 100% that way, and unfortunately, a lot of it has to do with demonism on Earth right now.
I believe that. I honestly do.
That's why I truly believe Erica Kirk is not who she says she is. She claims to be Christian, but she is definitely very close to the Whore of Babylon at this point, honestly, from the Bible.
See that? Okay, like you can believe that. I don't believe that. Maybe. I don't know everything for sure. And there's certainly things about Erica Kirk that I don't know, a whole bunch about her that I don't know. But it seems to me that she's pretty upset about things, and like justifiably so. And you can't fucking look at someone who's grieving in public like that, in the public eye, and be like, oh, well, they didn't do this, so therefore, blah, 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 blah. You're like, you don't fucking know, dude. You don't know how you would react if you were that person. You don't know how they would react if they were, because they are that person. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, even being in the public eye after something like that, like, not many people would do that. They would just simply go hang out with their kids and grieve with their families, is what it is.
I think that she shouldn't have had, like, TP USA after Charlie Kirk got shot. She should have had nothing to do with it. Not nothing, but she should have been, like, way in the background. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she wasn't, but again, she's grieving, she's angry, she's got a lot on her shoulder. Like, who knows what motivations there were? Who knows what people were saying she should and shouldn't do around her? It's not for me to judge, and it's not for you to judge either. So shut the fuck up, the proverbial you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I forget if the audio that came out with her was before or after Charlie's assassination, where she was talking about Turning Point USA and basically trying to use it as a cash cow, but it was very disgusting.
You know, and maybe, like, who knows, dude? Who knows? Like, maybe that's 100% correct and right on the dot, and she was fucking, you know, trying, like, waiting for something like this to happen, and then it did, and she's capitalizing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, I don't know, she's trying to find the fucking the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or whatever. You know, she's trying to find, like, the good and the bad, the good and the evil thing that happened, because it was an evil fucking thing that happened. And sometimes you got to look for the good. And I'm not saying that she's right or wrong or whatever for what she was saying, dude. I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm not going to judge her. I mean, we've all lost people, bro. We've all lost fucking people. And we all did stupid things after we lost people. Because we were hurt. Because we were sad. Because we were lonely. Because we were angry. And that's normal. That's completely normal. And I don't understand how people don't see that. There was this, though. Officer admits that the car that belonged to Tyler Robinson on a Ring camera was reportedly being driven by a bald man with 3 other people in the car the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination. So me thinks conspiracy. Me thinks other people involved who knew what was going on, who had prior knowledge, who probably should be held accountable for, again, not without proof, not without evidence, but they need to be looked into, and the evidence needs to be brought forward. And if that evidence shows that they did have prior knowledge and they didn't do anything to stop it, then they should be charged with whatever crimes are appropriate for that. Period. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think that too, make your case, but I don't understand.
I mean, it would make sense for it to be an entire team of dudes, not just one man.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it had to have been something like that. There's so many conspiracies about how it happened.
Well, even just getting the right angle and stuff like that on the rooftop, like, you would think you'd want to go through the motions of that beforehand. And if that be the case, you would need more than one person there, because you need the guy on the ground to be like waving their hand. To make
or
sure
the microphone bomb. What about the microphone bomb one? That's kind of crazy.
I don't think that. I mean, the only weird thing about the assassination, as far as I'm concerned, is the bullet. .30-06 hitting someone in the neck, it doesn't go through. However, if you shoot enough guns at enough targets, you realize that sometimes bullets do weird things. And just because a bullet did a weird thing doesn't mean anything. That's just what happens. That's physics. That's reality. That's how things work.
You want to know what I think is weird?
Yeah.
I think what is weird is the fact that like he got shot and then it was just chaos, and then there was no cops surrounding the area putting up markers. There was nobody putting up, casings or anything on the floor. I mean, I've been very near a gun shootout in one of my jobs before, and like there's always police and they lock everything down. There's no lockdowns. It was like everybody was out of there. It just felt really like almost calm, and it was too calm for it to be like, yeah, there was just nobody there. The cops didn't come in and do what they normally do. You didn't see a police scene where they block everything off and they get the media out of there so they can do their job. That never happened. That's bizarre.
It did happen, actually.
Well,
maybe not in the timeline that you would have liked it to or whatever, not maybe instantly
it's
afterwards.
It's not about me liking it. It's about the fact that it was never shown. Nobody's ever seen it.
They were tons of people there. There was one guy who was like in the crowd screaming that he was the guy who did it. Police arrested him. They were trying to fucking figure out what happened. And like, as far as like the casings go, there was one shot. It was out of a bolt action rifle. And when they found the rifle, the spent casing was still in the chamber. So there wouldn't have been any casings to mark or pick up. As far as creating a circle around the area so you can like preserve evidence, I believe that they did their best to do that. But again, like they're, fog of war and heat of the moment, and like
I'll be right back.
Things going on and dude saying he did it and screaming in the crowd and other things going on. Like, I'm sure mistakes were made. I'm sure that they didn't follow exactly what their policy would have normally been. But does it make sense still? Yeah, to me it does. Because human beings are human beings, and there's a million moving parts going on, especially with that large of a crowd going on there at the same time. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, quarantine the entire crowd and let no one leave? You got like 10,000 people there. You don't have enough police to wrangle in 10,000 people. If they want to get out, they're leaving. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, that's not a bad point, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
The only thing I've always found weird about the whole assassination was after Charlie was shot and you had the security team jump up there to grab him and throw him in the car because they thought he was still possibly alive. The fact they had no blood on their pants from where there would have been blood all over that area, like, that just seems strange to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I do remember that day though, because like after he got shot, his team immediately jumped into action, like got on top of him, got whatever control they could over the wound, and immediately moved the body and got to a car, got to the hospital as soon as they could. There were stories that once he got to the hospital, he still had a heartbeat. He was still technically alive, I guess. And they were saying like, oh, like they got to him so quick they might be able to save him. And I was looking at the footage and I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, of course, shortly after that, they announced. But I mean, a lot of these questions are going to be answered in this trial. A lot of these things that have been speculation because people don't have the full information. Because this trial is public, because it's open to the public, because it's televised and people can tune in and watch it. You can go to Rakita Law right now, watch it every single day. They're covering the entire trial if you want, right? Which I am going to be doing. Lots of these questions that people had are going to be answered. And maybe not all of them. Maybe some questions will still remain. But as far as like he wasn't on campus and he didn't know where he was going to shoot from and they didn't have the weapon and like all of these questions, are 100% proven and answered in the trial. I guarantee you. Just wait. Just fucking wait. So here's this guy, Tyler Hansen. I'm exactly 6 feet tall, by the way. The person in the security footage is clearly shorter than I am. What's the next goalpost now? Okay, look at the camera angle, fucking retarded faggot. Is that the same camera angle? No, it's not. Therefore, your picture doesn't mean shit. And guess what? This guy gets to vote just like you and me. This guy gets to influence people just like you and I do. And he is either completely disingenuous and just trying to make a buck right now, or he's too fucking stupid to be alive. Like, you are so fucking stupid if you look at that and you're like, oh, well, that's the same camera. And then even if you look at it, oh, well, like his head is right next to the thing and his is under it. So yeah, I guess he would be shorter. And is he on the same stair? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things are ambiguous. All of these people are trying to make points that are just completely fall apart with a little bit of scrutiny. Just a little bit of scrutiny, and it completely fucking falls apart. So, fuck you, Tyler Hansen. You're a piece of shit. You're a fucking liar, or you're fucking stupid. One of the two. Which is it? Are you dumb, or are you a liar? Because that's the only two fucking things you could be. Here's a video of Tyler Robinson casing the joint the day before. So he showed up to the parking garage, parked his car, walked around, saw where the stage was set up, saw where the buildings were, where he could get on top of, where he could go to shoot from, perhaps. He 100% went there the day before and figured out what his position could be, what his advantages could be, where he might go, where he might park his car and walk in. All of the things that happened that day. He cased it the day before. They have him on camera. They have him on fucking camera showing up and walking around the campus and looking for places to go and what to do. 100%. So for the people who were like, well, it wasn't even him. Tyler Robinson wasn't the guy who was involved. Yeah, fucking right. I guess we'll see. Again, court case is going to show evidence. Evidence is going to be heard. And, you know, they've got lawyers who are on his side who are going to try to refute things. And if they have really good arguments as to why something isn't true, that's going to be heard too. You know what I mean? It's not like they're not going to make arguments that could exonerate him. Like, if there's evidence that shows that it wasn't him, you don't think they're going to fucking have that? So again, this court case is going to make a lot of people feel really dumb. Here's Ricky Zakalingo. My favorite part is this fake Tyler Robinson rooftop video is the person walking down the sidewalk that disappears. You don't think he maybe took a right turn and he's walking this way now? Just because he walked by a tree? Oh, someone disappeared. That means that it's fake, right? Or it could mean he stopped to tie his shoe. So either Ricky's correct, which I highly fucking doubt, or something happened and the guy fucking took a right turn or tied his shoe or something, or got a phone call and stopped. You know what I mean? There's 100 reasons why you would walk and then stop walking. Like, how long is this clip? Fucking 10 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that if you kept playing it, or if you had it from a different angle and you were watching that person, that you would see exactly what they were doing. But whatever. Ricky gets the same voting rights as you and me.
That is one of the few clips I have seen going around since about a week or two after the assassination happened. And I've seen a lot of people saying that same thing about it being like, oh yeah, it's just like a glitch or something, or they like edited over something else is what it was. But I don't know. I mean, like you said, it could have been a million things. It could have been a guy talking to somebody behind a tree.
Well, I mean, what would what's the thing called where you're like make the least amount of assumptions to get to the truth? Occam's razor. What's the fucking word? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I'm not sure offhand.
You can't remember either? God damn it. Someone in the
No.
chat. What's it called? The Razor?
It probably is Occam's razor, honestly.
Anyway. What do you think is more likely? That the guy either stopped to tie his shoe or took a right-hand turn and walked up the lawn or got a phone call and stopped? Or that there's this grand conspiracy by the government to doctor up AI film to release to the public to prove that it was this guy who was the shooter when he wasn't, because we're actually trying to protect someone else. In fact, if you listen to Candace Owens and other people, it's the Jews. It's always the Jews who did it, right? So we got Israel somehow came in, right? And they had agents who had these videos that were ready to go that they released the next day or whatever it was. And they had all of this evidence that showed that it was this guy. But, oh, someone forgot to take a look at the guy who was walking on the sidewalk, you see? And the guy on the sidewalk was just actually AI, but we weren't looking close enough. And the smoking gun proof. Which do you think is more likely? And it's Occam's razor. Thank you, Agorizer. I think obviously, Occam's razor would say he's tying his fucking shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I'm not saying 100% he was tying his shoe and that it wasn't the Jews. And I'm just saying that the likelihood, if I was to give it odds, if I was a betting man and there was a way to fucking make money off of this and bet, you know where all my money would be. I'd be selling everything I have and putting money on that. Because it's like a guaranteed fucking win. Guaranteed. Oh, here's Brian Eastwood. Did Tyler Robinson go to a fast food restaurant after killing Charlie Kirk? Timeline might not add up, and nothing states he was spotted on fast food CCTV minutes after the shooting. Bro, does that, even if he was there or wasn't there or whatever you're trying to say, does that prove anything? Does that prove that he did it or didn't do it? Does that show evidence that he's guilty or not guilty? Does this show anything at all? No, it doesn't. You're just saying things because there's dumb people on the internet who are like, oh, well, again, these people have the same voting rights as you and me. This is why our country is failing. This is why we keep electing retarded people to Congress, to the Senate, to state Senate, to be mayors, to be fucking governors, the whole thing. Because we just have NPC retards in this fucking country who believe, I guess, anything. Just anything that, oh, that's contrary to the narrative that the people are saying that I don't like. Well, therefore, I believe it. I believe it 100%.
I will bring up something that Lit on Steel posted in the comments a few minutes back, which was the thing about the Utah governor having them go out there and like take down all the topsoil, I think is what it was, and then cover everything over with concrete. It was just very strange in general.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you think that the police didn't gather all of the evidence that they could have gathered at the site of the fucking shooting before they did that, though?
It's entirely possible. And that might have been what they were doing, honestly.
Well, I'm saying, though, like, if they... The story is that they basically, like, tore down the area, like, the stage that he was on and rebuilt it into something else, right? And it happened, like, a day or two after the shooting. Do you not think that police went there, detectives and forensics and all kinds of people who have degrees and fucking get paid by the government? Do you not think that they showed up and collected every piece of evidence that they could possibly find before they allowed anyone to go in there and do anything? That's a question.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense, but at the same time, like I said, it just seems like the whole timeline of events just seems strange in general.
And I can agree with that. And that's, maybe someone should explain that. Maybe someone from the school or whoever made that decision, or, whatever the case is, someone should probably come forward and be like, here's why that decision was made. Here's what we were thinking. Here's what the plan was beforehand, or whatever the case is, dude. Just tell people, because there's a lot of fucking stupidity out there, and the best disinfectant is always sunlight.
And that's the thing. And I feel like that wasn't the part of the Utah governor at that point. That was the one that called for the whole thing to happen. Like, he could have come out and just been like, hey, we're doing this to make sure no evidence is missed. And it would have been that simple. The fact that he didn't just makes it allow to have people come out and be like, make up their own theory. Should have looked at this then.
Dead Horse, what's up, dude? Member for 44 months. That's incredible. That's crazy, dude. Thank you so much. He said, it's the juice.
The juice crew.
Did you say the juice crew?
Yeah. That's what some people are saying.
So here's some evidence that came out today. Tyler Robinson's rifle that had trans ideology written on the casings that were not shot, including the one that had the casing that killed Charlie Kirk still in the chamber, wrapped up in a towel that had his lover's semen on it.
Ew.
So that's pretty gross, and also pretty fucking pretty hard to refute.
Now that's love right there.
Well, now he's testifying against the guy. Like, this is one of the main people who's testifying against Tyler Robinson, is his ex-furry lover.
That was forced love.
And that's another thinking about it, another false narrative going around, was that Tyler Robinson was a conservative. Tyler Robinson was a Republican. Tyler Robinson came from a Republican family.
His last name is Robinson, obviously.
Well, there's lots of people who come from Republican, Christian, conservative families, and then they go off to college and they go the exact opposite direction. How often does that happen? Does that ever happen?
There's no Democrats with the last name.
No, just always.
So, like, the fact that his parents were Republican, and the fact that, like, maybe he had, like, a, I don't know, whatever it was, t-shirt on from years ago, or whatever the case may be, proves absolutely fucking nothing. At the time that he pulled the trigger, he was having gay sex with a furry.
As a Republican, then that's okay.
I mean, don't you remember under the toe tapping in college?
What? I'm just saying. It's okay. Don't judge these guys. They have freedom too.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I mean, just remember, don't go into congressional bathrooms and tap on the fucking.
You're in trouble,
area.
bro. You're in trouble, and it doesn't matter. That's partisan right there. Both sides are getting in on that.
So Candace Owens is out there still saying that there's no evidence and that it was the Jews and all of these other fucking crazy things. Today in court, we saw video of Tyler arriving, video of Tyler walking with his rifle at the, like, in his pant leg. We saw video of Tyler going to the shooting location. We saw video of Tyler pulling out the rifle. We saw video of Tyler aiming and shooting. We saw video of Tyler lowering himself and jumping off the roof. We saw a video of him running away. And somehow, with all of that video proof, Candace Owens still claims that it was the Jews. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, you just have to, like, completely fucking forego reality. You have to, like, completely ignore all of the evidence that's in front of your eyes and just believe the thing that you already believed because that's what you believe. And, again, this is America. You can do what you want, but these people get the same right to vote that we do.
Well, it makes a lot of sense when you realize Candace Owens' entire background is just being a piece of shit the entire time.
The Jews get the same right to vote that we do, because that doesn't sound fair. It just doesn't sound fair at all. He shouldn't have a right to vote.
You're killing me, dude. You're killing.
That's what I'm here for.
You're killing it right now. I love it. None of which can be independently identified as Tyler Robinson except agency identification. And he keeps saying he believes it's Tyler Robinson, not the Tyler Robinson in any of these photos. Again, these people have the same right to vote that we do, and apparently they're a Jew. So,
At least it's not New York, because then who is it then? Because we know what that side is.
what are you? Okay, side note. What are your thoughts on the socialist, democratic socialist mayor of New York City? Do you have any thoughts?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you because I know
I
what.
don't have a lot of thoughts about it. I think it's wild to hear the bells ringing, the Muslim bells ringing during prayer hours in certain like areas. I think it's beautiful in one way, and then in another way it is kind of weird. I'll be honest with you. And then I don't like the fact that you can obviously see there's a desire to just remove American values. So I don't care for that. Like I don't care about the Muslim religion and the fact that the bells are being rung in different street areas. I think so. Again, that's beautiful, and it's concerning in the fact that like you shouldn't have an agenda, whether it be a Jewish agenda or a Muslim agenda, Islamic agenda. I think we should have an American agenda, and that's the only agenda that we should have.
Agreed.
So all the other agendas need to figure out a way to fuck themselves off and like get out of here and let us can we just be American, please? Like I don't care. Like play your songs, do your prayers, but don't force something else on us, being either Jew or Muslim. Like get that crap out of our system. We're supposed to be a Christian nation. We don't have to be, and that's okay. But then it still needs to be all sides, not forced socialism of a certain denomination, if that makes sense.
Well, that's the whole point with the Islamic call to prayer stuff. It's for them to take over. It's them dominating America. It's them dominating Eastern European countries. And just pretty much all European countries, any first world nation they go into, that's what they do. That's their whole. There's a whole thing of like stages of what they do to take over, and that's one of them.
It's true, and they've done it before. I mean, look at Iran, for instance. Iran, 50 years ago, was a free democratic country that had a growing Muslim population that eventually got to a critical mass, where they then voted themselves in as rulers, made themselves dictator, took everything over, converted the entire country to Islam by force, and then now you have the Islamic State of Iran. And that's a pattern that's repeated itself. I mean, think about this. Jordan used to be Christian. Egypt used to be Christian. Lebanon used to be Christian. Like all of these now Muslim countries that are strongholds of the Muslim religion, of Muslim people, were at one point Christian nations that got slowly taken over and then conquered by Islam. So,
and that's directly what led to the Crusades, was people finally waking up to it and fighting back against it because they're like, not in our fucking country.
And I personally believe, and you guys can disagree if you like, that we need to have another crusade, whatever that means. We need to get the Christians together, the Christian nations together, and fight back against this, because if we don't, I believe that there won't be Christian nations anymore.
I think if Netanyahu apologized for the things he said, I don't even know how many years ago, I want to say 30 years ago, but if he apologizes for the things that he said, that is obviously blaringly wrong now, if he apologizes for saying he's going to use America and that we are here to be used and that he said those things. Like, you can't take those things away. So go look at the things that he said about us and how he wants to use us and control us. I think at this point he needs to apologize for those things. And I think that might actually let some of the Christians and some of the people that are so like insane right now have a little bit of like, they can calm down. They can have less angst thinking that we're being invaded by the Jewish nation, because he did say some awful things and we do give him a lot of money. And why are we giving him so much money when our country's falling apart? Like, there's real thought there, you know, there's real things behind that are scary. It's a scary thought to think that we give this other nation billions of dollars when we are suffering at home. Like, they have free healthcare, we do not. Like, think, I mean, just like, there's things that are so obvious. Like, you have to kind of think about those other things and not blindside yourself to think that there's not an obvious problem with the Jewish state in our country. And then, like, I would say an apology from their liege would be really nice to make us feel like, oh, he's not just using us. Because if he is just using us, then maybe we should have a regime change there. Like, because that's kind of bad too.
Well, I think that's the issue right now too, that we're seeing a lot, and that's why so many people have such disdain for Israel in general.
Right.
Is the fact you have so much stuff like that going on. But the real problem is, in the past 30 days, you've actually had our Congress put legislation through. I'm not sure if Trump signed a law yet or not, but it would basically give our military to Israel to do whatever the fuck they wanted with it.
Yes, that's a thing. It's so awful. It's not okay, and that's where the revolution comes in. Because
I personally don't particularly like Netanyahu. I think that he's done a lot of fucked up things and said some shitty shit and shouldn't be in power anymore. I think that he's had enough of controversy in his own country that his own people should vote against him and vote someone else in. I agree with that.
Yep. And we need to cut that snake's head off.
They did at one point, and they came back around and took power again. That's what it was.
But I also support Israel, and I also recognize that we are a Judeo-Christian society. We're not just Christian. We're Judeo-Christian. We're not Muslim. We're Judeo-Christian, because Jews and Christians have traditionally got along in ways that are beneficial for both our peoples.
But it's two different systems of religious belief. It's two completely different systems of religious belief. They don't believe that their Messiah has come yet, and we do. So if we believe that our Messiah has come yet and they don't, then our Antichrist is their Christ. So that's kind of something that you have to think about if you are spiritual in any sort of way at all.
Well, that's actually been...
Or you're fucking retarded. Sorry.
It's actually been proven that Islam specifically is going to rise the Antichrist through their own writings and stuff.
Either way, they both go hand in hand, because they come from the same hand. They came from the same tribes. They come from the same house. Islam and Judeo, the Jews, come from the same lineage. They're just broken up into two different houses. We need to separate ourselves from that entirely, both sides.
I mean, you'd also have to ignore the fact that our Messiah, Jesus, what religion was he born into?
Judaism.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of like some connections there that you can't. I get Pontius Pilate and like all of the things that happened, and you know, the crucifixion of Jesus and the way that it went down because the Jews were calling for it, and there's a lot of people who still have animosity about that, and like maybe rightfully so, maybe rightfully so. And you do have a really good point about their Messiah hasn't come yet and ours has, and therefore their Messiah would be the Antichrist, right? Because it would be the opposite of, because it's not our Messiah.
Correct.
Yeah, I get that, dude.
It's scary.
that is kind of scary. That is kind of scary. I also say that we already had an Antichrist, and his name was Muhammad.
I mean, I don't know, man, because Muhammad and Buddha were fairly similar. Like,
No, they were not.
kind of.
No, not even close, dude.
Well, Buddha was a pacifist, but
yeah, and and Muhammad was a warlord, so
and a child rapist.
Yeah,
it's kind of different, pacifism and a warlord.
It is, but yeah, okay. I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway, I'm glad we can talk about it a little bit. His name was Nero. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, where are we at? I forget what we're even talking about.
We would do the Ann Carroll post there.
Kindly show me a screenshot of Tyler Robinson taking the shot. Oh, you can't, because that's not what the video showed at all. It showed an unidentified individual walking around, and on the roof it showed a tiny whiff of pixels. Okay, again, Ian Carroll gets the same rights to vote as we do. You have to completely ignore the fingerprints and DNA evidence and testimony and casing of the situation. Like, there's so much evidence other than that video. And yet, because it's not like a close-up picture where you can see every detail of his face, you're gonna fucking say all that stuff. And then because people don't know that, or people are too dumb to look, like too busy or too stupid or whatever the case is to look into things, they're gonna believe what they hear because they trust Ian Carroll. When he's just muddying the waters. He's just muddying the waters to make everything fucking gay and retarded. That's what I say. What does Israel have on video of you doing to make you lie like
What happened?
That's what this guy said.
Where is that? I need to see this.
The artist known as Jess. What does Israel have on video of you doing to make you lie like this? The prosecution admitted in court that there's no evidence or pictures of Tyler with a gun, let alone shooting it. Okay, again.
The artist known as Jess. All right. Well, cool. Good.
Good luck, bro. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Not sure what you're used to, but if you have video of the alleged see, here's more people being like, well, because there's a pixelated video, obviously everything's a lie, right? Let's see what this guy has to say. 44 seconds.
Breaking news, the prosecution just told the judge they have nothing on Tyler Robinson. Take a listen.
Is there any footage of the alleged shooting?
There is not, Judge.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
I'd like to be crystal clear. You asked if there's any portion of this video that captures, and I believe you asked of the actual shooting. There's no video of that. There is video, however, and you've heard testimony related to this, where the shooter goes to the top of the low-C building, goes out to the edge of the building, low crawls, and then leaves after what we assume is the shot being fired.
What? This is all they have? A dude?
No, that's not all they have. That is not all they have. Just because they don't have... Well, they will. There's a trial. The trial's going on right now. We don't have it yet. The trial's going on tomorrow and the next day and the next day and next week and the week after that.
Well, hurry up and get it now. What are we waiting for?
We're waiting for the jury.
This guy's a tool.
But again, okay, like if something happened, but you didn't catch it on video, does that mean that it didn't happen? If a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, did the tree actually fall? Did it make a sound?
It fell. It just didn't make a sound. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's what this guy believes. That's like when you play peekaboo with a baby, right? You put your hands over the baby, or the baby puts his hands over his eyes, and in the baby's mind, everything's gone and has disappeared, and so is he. And then he takes his hands off of his eyes, and now he can see again, and everything's reappeared, and like it's magic, right? It's kind of like the same kind of thinking. Like this guy thinks like a baby.
And then what happened to me was when I removed my hands from my eyes, everything was skeletons. So it was scary.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why I could see through people's skin as a baby. It was weird.
So that's the one thing that not the one thing, but that's one of the main things that everyone's like focusing on is that there is no direct verified video footage proof that Tyler Robinson shot the gun that killed Charlie Kirk. Okay, but is there evidence other than that he shot the gun and killed Charlie Kirk? Yes, there's lots of evidence. There's a whole fuck ton of evidence, and we're going to be hearing that evidence for the next couple of weeks. Like this. Here's Tyler Robinson walking up the stairs one step at a time. Why? Rifle up his shirt and down his pants, and he can't bend his leg.
When he leaves this parking structure.
What a wiener, dude. I would have just carried my rifle on my shoulder. I don't even care. I'm gangster.
And again, we're able to track.
I don't think I know.
Yeah, that's just dumb. You look dumb. You look like you're fucking got a big old dick that you can't put away.
I know, magician, whatever shit you just said is. I know, magician.
Hey, dude, stop getting horny. Like, stop taking drugs.
Rifle in the pant leg, dude. He clearly bends both of his. No, he doesn't. Like, again, Kenda.
It's AI generated right there. Look at how wobbly the legs are. Look at the smoothness of the leg on the right side. Well, the left side for us looking at it. It just bends it. No, that's AI. That's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
Is it AI or is it gay AI?
Gay
Who cares? It's gay AI. That's dumb, dude. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Well, maybe it's two pieces. Okay, so there's one piece that looks more like he's taking in Yahtzee because he's gonna play on the roof by himself because he's lonely.
Here's John saying, "You're a fucking retard, man. The fact that you believe that any of this shit is stupid still looks nothing like Tyler Robinson. There's enough bullshit surrounding this to provide reasonable doubt, so this theory is full of holes." Okay, John, we'll see how dumb you are in a couple of weeks, because all of this evidence, every bit of it, is going to be presented in court, and Tyler Robinson's lawyers will have every opportunity to poke all of the holes that you think are there into these theories. And if they're not able to, he's going to be convicted. So if he's not convicted, then maybe he's got a point. You know what I mean? If he gets let off because there's so much evidence that shows like, well, I don't know, and this is weird, and that's not true, and this wasn't him, and that evidence is fake, and whatever the case is, dude. I don't know what they're going to say, but it's going to come out in court, and they're going to prove these things beyond a shadow of a doubt, or they're not. I will stand by the court on this one. I usually don't. I don't know how many court cases you guys have watched, but they're a lot of the time bullshit. A lot of the time it's the state throwing around power. It's them finding someone who they perceive to be guilty and throwing the book at them and doing everything that they can to prove them guilty. It's prosecutors who are supposed to go after the truth. Instead of going after the truth, they're going after a victory. Instead of going after the truth, they're going for a successful prosecution. They want to fucking bust the guy, right? They want another notch on their belt. It's not about, and like, honestly, if you're a good prosecutor and you start going after someone in court and you find through evidence that maybe we were wrong, a good prosecutor doesn't double down and like pound the table and do all the things that lawyers do to win. They would withdraw. They would say, oops, and let's go find the real guy. You know what I mean? That's the way it should work, but that's not the way it works. It's very adversarial. It's very competitory in this country as far as trials go. And then the other part is the prosecutors and judges are often friends with one another. They often go to the same country clubs, or they're certainly having lunch in the cafeteria every day together, or at least in the same area. So the fact that there's possibly multiple jurisdictions with conflicts of interest between judges and prosecutors is beyond.
Hey, Honda, let me just ask you to search something really quick. Okay, so what about the fact that his body was ready to go just a couple days after the shooting, and not enough time for an actual autopsy. There's some I don't remember what I watched, so I'm asking you because you're the expert on news and videos and stuff. So, like, have you heard about that search? Because there's
Wait, say that
something
again?
about so he didn't have time to actually prep in an autopsy. The amount of time between him being there and Erica giving him a kiss on the cheek and saying her goodbyes in his casket was like 2 days or something absurd, and not enough time for an actual autopsy. So, like, take a look at that search, just because that's something that I've seen videos on and I've seen some people talking about. Um, and I don't know if that's true, but it was like I think I'm not sure at all, but I think it was like 2 days or something that the body was ready to go, and that's not even enough time for a doctor to do a
Some
proper
very
autopsy.
Well, here's a video on it. Let's watch.
shocking questions are now popping up about Charlie Kirk's body.
You guys realize that we still don't know where Charlie Kirk is buried, right?
First of all, before we watch this, you should know that every single person who's making these type of videos is doing it for one reason:
Clickbait.
internet
Yeah.
clout, money. They know
Got it.
that people are going to click on it. So whether they believe it or not, whether they actually hold these opinions or not, they know that people are going to click on these videos and watch them. They know that they're going to make money. They know that they're going to get subscribers. They know that if they espouse a certain point of view, they will get support. And if they espouse another point of view, that they will not. So just keep that in mind before you watch it.
And looking back on this video of Erica Kirk crying over Charlie's body, something felt weird about it, and not for the obvious reasons. Like, it should have been a private moment, yes, not a public moment, but that's not what bothered me. And I couldn't quite figure it out until I started looking at the dates. Charlie was assassinated on September 10th, and this video was posted by Erica just 2 days later on the 12th. The highest profile political assassination since JFK, and he's in a casket ready to be buried 2 days later. Is that even enough time to do a thorough autopsy investigation and
That's something that I've
preparation
heard
of the body and flying the body back to Arizona? The body couldn't have been in the state's evidence longer than 24 hours, which is really crazy when you think about it.
He's not wrong. It doesn't make sense that Charlie's body was handed over to TPUSA so quickly. That
real quick, when they do an autopsy, what is the point of the autopsy? Anybody know?
I mean, various reasons. He could have died of natural causes.
To determine cause of death.
To determine cause of death.
Yeah, right before the shot.
When you get shot in the neck with a 30-06, how hard is it to determine cause? I mean, you can do an X-ray of the body. You can see exactly where the shrapnel is inside of your body. You can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, so the reason why I ask is because the theory is that there was an explosive within the in the microphone that made the jerk and all that happen. I don't know the truth, man. I'm not a movie director or anything like that, but there's two schools of thought. One is that he's still alive and it was set up because things were getting too complicated for him and his family, being that everything he was saying and what he was doing, and the fact that he was standing up against Israel for a little bit there. And so that he was asked politely to be taken out in order to preserve his life. The second thing is that they did it so fast so that way they could evaporate any of the actual explosives that would have been used in the microphone explosive as opposed to a gunshot. That's the theories that I've seen and the things that I've read about.
To the first point that you just made, there's no fucking way that that's true because of who Charlie Kirk was as a person. Like, there's no way that he would have been like, "Oh, I'm scared. Like, hide me away." That's not who he was.
I'm not saying
I don't believe that for a second.
I'm not saying he's the one who did it. I'm not.
Well, I
saying
mean, if he was too, you just said though, like if like the first theory is that like he wanted to be. What did you just say? Like whisked away or whatever? So that
he wanted to be whisked away, basically. Like he wanted to fake his death, and this is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
like,
I don't believe that for a second. Just because of who he was.
That's fine. But then the other thing is that it's an inside job, and he got blown up through the neck explosion. I don't know like Honda, I'm not trying to say I know anything. I'm just pointing this guy out, and this isn't even the video I saw. But I've read some stuff about people that really believe that it was some sort of weird inside job thing, and that's kind of disconcerting, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of. It's possible. I will say that it is possible that there is some crazy conspiracy in which there was like microphone explosive technology implemented to kill him in a way that was, you know what I mean? But I will also say that the dude here is wearing makeup and he's in a studio. Like, I don't believe this guy. Like, he could tell me that water is wet and the sky is blue, and I'd be like, I don't like.
I don't know
from
who
the
this
source.
is.
I'm not sure, bro.
I don't even know what we're looking at in that.
Again,
fucking rearview mirror. Like,
Yeah,
that's
neither do I. But I'm just saying from
That's bizarre.
just what he's covering, what he's doing in this video, what they're talking about.
Look at his eye.
It's obviously disingenuous. It's
His pink eye.
obviously that this guy
Slept
is.
on a poop pillow last night. I mean, he's clearly like winking on the right side. Oh, it's the left side. It's the left side. You're right. It's the left side.
All right, his left. Right.
He also gave Charlie's cross necklace to Erica almost immediately after the incident.
So when we first started dating, I asked him, I was like, why don't you wear a cross? He said, why? You say you're a Christian, but you don't wear a cross. He's like, I don't know. I'm not a jewelry guy. And I was like, I understand. So for his first birthday present, I got him this cross. And then throughout time, I would always add different medals to it. And so he loved St. Michael. And so, yeah, every time he'd put this on, he just felt like it was his armor.
What are they saying, that the necklace should have been kept as evidence or something?
Why has she got so many rings on her own hand? Are those his rings?
Those are his rings.
Okay, so she just memories.
Yeah, which again, this is like another thing that people point out, like, oh, look at all the golden rings. She's so rich now. Look at all got the golden
No one
rings she's
cares
wearing.
about how rich she is. That's bullshit. If you think that, then that's on you. Don't be envious of other people. She's got money because of where she's at. Like, just
Well, the point is that they think that like she's like flaunting it or something, you know, and it's like, no, she's wearing her dead husband's rings. And you guys are disgusting for pointing that out.
that's just bizarre. Like, just let her have her moment. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
And her having the necklace, what does that prove? Nothing. Does that show anything? No. Does that have any bearing on the case whatsoever? No. Is this guy wearing makeup and going on camera and saying it does? Yes.
Yeah.
That necklace has now become a key piece of evidence.
See?
In the micro explosive theory.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And if you guys are just on audio, you'll obviously need to come.
See, and where is this coming from? Candace Owens. Again, is Candace Owens, in my opinion, a trustworthy source of information?
Well, let it play because I haven't seen this. So I
Cut
want to
this
see
on
it.
video because I can't really
Interesting.
describe. Obviously, the question is being asked. This moment right here, we had
What?
assumed initially that was his recorder or something. I can confirm. You'll see later that it's whipping fast and it looks white when it whips fast, but that is in fact his necklace.
How does she know that?
That is his necklace, and
She doesn't know that.
I find that for some reason to be very strange that the necklace goes up first.
Did investigators even test the necklace for any kind of residue before handing it over to Erica? No one can answer that.
Something happened where he was pressed and he.
So, real quick, if there was an explosive device in that microphone that went off and did the thing, there would be not only evidence on that necklace, but there would be on his shirt, on his face, on his neck. Like,
That's
it'd be
the
all
whole-
over the place.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. That's what I was trying to say earlier, is the fact that there was no like police sector like blocked off to protect it. As a matter of fact, you see in videos where they go out and they remove the projector that's right behind him. And like there's some things in there that are sketchy, man. They're not like normal
So,
police.
okay, real quick on
things.
that one. There was the guy who grabbed the fucking camera behind him.
Yeah, you saw that.
You don't think we're going to see that in court? You don't?
No, I
you
think
don't
we
think
will.
we're
I
going to see
can't
that
wait.
evidence from that camera in court?
can't
You don't
wait.
think
I
we're going to
can't
see that
wait.
in court, dude?
Was it?
Do you not
was
think
it
that we're going to see that in court?
I'm asking you, do you think it was a
Yes,
camera?
we're going to see that in court.
Can I ask the question? Was that a camera or was that a holographic projector?
It was a camera.
Well, we don't know that.
It was a camera.
We're going to see it in court.
The guy who grabbed the camera said he grabbed the fucking camera. I mean, I guess he could be lying.
That makes sense. I would say I was grabbing a camera too.
But I mean, okay. If there was a camera that was behind him, which there was, and it was recording everything that happened, which I believe it did, we are going to see that in court.
I can't wait.
And if it was some sort of a 3D holographic image projector or whatever the fuck people on the fucking internet are saying, then we will not see that in court.
What do you mean we will not? Why will we not see it? There was people
because it wasn't a camera, it was a projector.
No, there were people videotaping that whole thing.
Bro.
There's no way we don't
I'm
see
getting
what's
frustrated
going on.
now. I'm getting frustrated now.
We got to see everything that happened to this guy. Like,
We will, because it's going to be in court for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And so all of these people who were like, well, it was an explosive microphone, you see, and they didn't do an autopsy on the body. They're going to have the guy who did the autopsy in court, and they're going to ask him questions. And then Tyler Robinson's lawyers are going to have that same exact guy in court, and they're going to be able to ask him questions too.
Honda,
and if there are good questions that they have to ask him that are going to exonerate Tyler Robinson, we will see that, because this trial is going to be in front of all of our eyes. We will see it because it is being televised, because people are covering it, because it will be known. So either way, hold on. Either way, whatever is true, we will know by the end of this fucking trial. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so like, there's a couple of things that, like, I don't know if you think that I'm like a proposer of there was an explosive in the microphone or not, because I don't know what happened, so I'm not presuming I do. I don't know who shot him. Honestly, it's not even a big deal to me, because the fact is this guy was murdered and he was fucking awesome. He was a good person and he was really fun to watch, and I really liked his values. So like, I'm on Charlie Kirk's side. So just so you know, we're on that.
You're playing devil's advocate. I get it.
When you exactly, and then when you do the baby voice, like, honestly, it's like it's a disrespect to an honest question that I am curious about. I'm not trying to come against you. So like, doing that kind of like thing, it like degrades, one, yourself, and then two, it kind of like, I'm not asking a baby question. I'm asking a real conspiracy question that people obviously have posted fucking videos about, that I'm curious to find out the answer to. So why are the antics? Like, is it directed at me personally, or is it just something you do because you're frustrated?
Because I'm frustrated.
Okay.
Honestly, dude, because I see this stuff and I have my own perspective on it, and I see these people who are posting these videos, the ones that are saying like, well, the evidence doesn't prove that this or that, right? Sorry, again, the baby voice.
I'm with you, man. I think the people that disrespect the fact that this guy got shot for being who he is is absolutely absurd. And the fact that he always had an on the fucking fly answer for every single reason that he backed up with his Bible and his beliefs was amazing. Listening to a guy who doesn't have a college degree, who just fucking learned for himself and made a business for himself and really stood up for what he believes. That's a real man. That's a real Christian. That's somebody that I admire as a Christian. I admire him. And so I want to know just as much as you do what really happened, because if it was an inside job, then that's another reason why fuck you, government. But if it's not, and it's just somebody who's hateful, which side are you on? And why did you do it? Like, I want to get to those points too.
Well, we know why he did it.
Yeah.
We 100% know why he did it.
I don't have any idea why he did it. Like,
You
that's
don't?
fucking.
You want me to tell you?
No, the guy was so awesome to watch. Are you kidding? It's like he
Right.
was incredible, incredible.
Do you want to know why people celebrated when he got shot? Do you want to know why people were like cheering for it? Do you want to know why Tyler Robinson loaded his
there's
gun and fucking went there that
awful
day?
People out there that do that. I know people who are like, oh, good, one more down. Like, I know people like that. That's fine. That's not okay. It's not okay. That's not okay. So, like,
and we're surrounded by them.
I'm just upset as you are with that stuff. Like, I just why that this happened should be devolved, as well as everything else that's going on in our stupid country right now.
Well, it's the same reason that debate is shut down in college campuses, right? Because it's not just that I disagree with your trans ideology or whatever the case may be that I'm arguing against on campus that day as Charlie Kirk, right? It's not that I have a difference of opinion. It's that Charlie Kirk is evil. It's that Charlie Kirk, he's not trying to protect children. He's trying to eliminate trans people off of the planet. That's what they think. They have this idea in their head that they are under attack and that words are violence and that violence should be met with violence and that violence is acceptable because we were violated first.
If anything, he wanted to preserve every child's life. That was one thing he stood on as like a rock. He wanted to preserve every child's life.
And the one thing that he did do is go to these campuses where people were not, where they were shutting down speech, where they were specifically going after points of view that disagreed with them and demonizing them. And he was showing people, hey, there's another view and you're not correct about it. Here's what we actually believe. Here's what the actual facts are. Here's what, here's an argument that you have to argue against, and you're not used to arguing against it because you shut down speech on every campus everywhere. So now no one knows how to argue. So the only thing that they can do to argue is to fucking get violent because they see words as violence and they meet violence with violence. And that's completely acceptable because the violence happened first on your side. You said the thing and that's violent. And so I'm just responding to the violence that you said. It's completely legitimately logical from a certain point of view, but you have to be like brainwashed to be on that point of view. You know what I mean? You have to be like so far down the rabbit hole that the world is inverted and you see, and going back to what Ohio was saying earlier, we are under a spiritual attack. There is a spiritual attack going on right now, and it's coming from demons. It's coming from hell. It's coming from the devil.
Well, CERN is shut down for 4 years, so we got 4 years to figure out our shit. CERN is shut down. We have 4 years to figure out our stuff. If you notice, things are changed. Go look up that. That's a good study for you. CERN is shut down until 2030. So you're going to notice a lot of changes. Time is going to slow back down.
If you started looking into spiritual stuff after Charlie's assassination in the past 10 months, there has been a pretty big spiritual awakening of people too, finally going back to church and going back to like houses of worship and stuff like that.
And that's probably Charlie Kirk is sitting in heaven right now, counting the souls that he saved. And as terrible as his death was, as awful as that fucking scene was, as hurtful as it was to have the attacks that came after his death from all of these people coming out of the woodworks, there's another side of that coin. And that's how many people have been woken up. How many people have seen the light? How many people have come to the light because of that? And perhaps, in a way, it's the greatest thing that could have possibly happened. Perhaps, in a way, his death, his assassination, saved more souls than his life ever could have. And perhaps That's part of God's plan, you know. Maybe there's things going on spiritually behind the scenes, battles happening that we don't know and we can't understand. But I do know how powerful that was. I do know how much that affected not only me but other people. You know, like that really fucking hurt me that day. That really, really, really hurt me that day. And it wasn't just seeing him die. It wasn't just seeing the violence and the carnage and the gore of what happened to him. It was also literally going to work an hour later and having people that I thought were my friends laughing in my face.
That's awful. That's awful, man. I'm sorry you had that. That's very.
I will
awful.
never forget it, dude. I will never forget it. I was
at work when
life.
it happened. I was at work when it happened too, man. And the whole store just kind of got solemn, and it was really just we're like, what happened and like why, and like nobody understood, but it was very solemn. It was not a happy environment. It was a sad day.
Well, and there was other thing like TMZ. Remember TMZ that day?
I'm just saying, like you I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, because that fucking sucks, bro. Like,
I agree, and thank you.
Yeah, it was awful.
But that very day, TMZ was doing a live stream, right? And they were talking about something that was happening, and then someone said, Charlie Kirk just got assassinated. And people started cheering in the background, cheering and clapping. And then they went on TV the next day and they're like, well, actually, the people who were clapping about something. They were watching a police chase is the thing, you see. And they were definitely not talking like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you forever. First of all, fuck you for lying. You should at least own that shit and be like, yeah, we were happy and here's why. But no, you weren't, because you knew how fucking bad it looked on you. And so rather than fucking actually owning what you fucking did and owning what you said, you lied about it so that you could continue to fucking trick people who were gullible. You know what I mean? And that's of the devil. That is Luciferian fucking IQ. That is exactly what the devil would do. And that's who these people work for. That's what these people are. That's who is controlling them and influencing them and perhaps even possessing them. And again, spiritual war. We are in a spiritual war. We are in a spiritual war for the future of humanity. And I really hope that, you know, I know in the end we'll win. I just don't know how bad it'll get before then. Apparently it's going to get real bad. Apparently Christians are going to be persecuted. Apparently you better be ready to be crucified for your fucking beliefs. Because apparently that's where we're going. And that sucks.
I don't know.
I wish it wasn't like that. But man, I mean, dude, we don't know. Like, there's the world is so beautiful and crazy and insane, and
like, all the rich people are Christian, bro. All the rich people claim to be Christian.
Yes.
And we know there's Satanists behind the scenes. The truth is,
what does the Bible say about a rich person getting into heaven?
The 2030 is going to be interesting when they turn that shit back on, man. It's gonna. We have some time to prepare before that happens. But our spiritual gifts will awaken before then. I don't think being in fear is somewhere we need to be. I think we need to be in a place of love, and we need to keep talking about this stuff, but we need to just kind of change the way we talk about it and be a little bit more powerful and like speak with authority. Don't be like, again, the baby voice, the degradation of other people. Like, I think we need to walk away from that sort of mentality and walk into a place where we're commanding authority in the spirit, because you're calling it on your show right now and you're talking to how many people, I don't know. But that being said, like, we need to take this time that we have, this 4-year block, to realize that this is our time to wake up, vote correctly, act correctly, stock, get to a good place in our lives where we can help others, and then live that life that you're talking about, that the Christian life, the spirit of Christ, this is our chance to do that. And, you know, I'll say that with a lot of pride in my voice. Like, I might have different views on that, but I'm telling you right now, like, I agree with everything that Ohio is saying about a spiritual war. And like, yeah, this is our time, guys. We need to talk about it, and we need to kind of elevate our vocals. We need to elevate our vocab.
What does the Bible say about what's going to happen? It's not good. It's not good for like in the short term. It basically says that the devil wins in the short term.
That's not at all what it says.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
What is the 7 years of tribulation?
We've been in that. We're in it now.
Yeah, that's the devil winning for 7 years. That is evil taking over the planet and trying to bend Christians to its will so that it can have their souls forever.
Again, not living in fear is the key to that situation.
My
not
point
living
is
in fear.
My point is that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And I'm not saying you should be in fear of that. I'm saying you should steel yourself for that. I am saying that you should prepare yourself for this terrible calamity that is bound for all of us, that seems like we are headed directly into. And if you don't, you can do that. That's fine. But I honestly believe that like things are going to get worse before they get better, bro. Period. It's not going to just be better. It's going to be a lot fucking worse. It's going to be so bad. Like when is it the darkest? Right before the dawn, right before Jesus comes back and saves everybody, right before
tell you what, you don't want to be here right now.
Right before God comes back and kicks the devil's fucking ass. The devil's winning, and the devil will get to the threshold of victory and then have that victory stolen from him. But we're not there yet, which means things are going to get worse. And with that, I'm done talking because I have to do other shit. So I do appreciate everyone being here tonight. It's been kind of a crazy conversation and led in directions I did not fucking foresee this happening at all. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, do you guys have any last minute thoughts?
The fireflies are super fucking cool, dude. Like, if I look out my windows, there's just these little lights that light up and they just bounce everywhere. And it's so beautiful. And it's very calming to watch fireflies.
We don't have those in Colorado.
We used to call them lightning bugs here.
Yeah, lightning bugs. That's what my mom called them. There's just thousands of them. You just look out and there's just little jets of light. It's so pretty.
Yeah, there's not as many around here anymore because of all the agricultural chemical sprays and stuff like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're super native heavy, so everybody respects life here. And I live right across from that graveyard. And so they just did a bunch of like habitat restoration. And so they don't allow bullshit around where I'm at. No spraying, no nothing. It's all native land. So it's just, it's absolutely gorgeous. Hot as fuck. And you got to control the bugs, but it is absolutely gorgeous.
That's crazy how it goes from like too cold to too hot. That's fucking weird.
It's insane.
Yeah, especially with these damn heat domes going on.
Yeah. Oof.
My final thought there was watch X-Men 97.
Watch what?
Watch X-Men 97.
X-Men 97, okay.
Oh, yeah. the X-Men cartoon?
Started. Yeah.
Dude, that is a good cartoon.
I quit baseball for that.
Oh, I got to look at that right now. Hold on. I don't want to exit the wrong thing.
All right, well, thanks for being here, guys. Deuces, y'all shall not pee in a fridge. True, but a shop it not, but a pressure, Batacath care. Prick the troops, 2 words, made in America. And we'll see the Jews next time.
Oh, Lord. Later.
Later.
Later, guys.